He who pays respect to the great ones paves the way for his own greatness. To imagine that humanity thought we were never going to be able to truly overcome diseases as a species, the human species has come a long way from where we were a couple of centuries ago. Human technological advancement had always been held back by the amount of memory we could hold together in one being per lifetime. The fact that humanity could not live for long didn't help matters at all, being that even those that might have started at some good technology die with their inventions without sharing their knowledge or how they'd figured out a way solving issues. The idea of humanity living for very long was seen as a problem for many years, at a time in the early 21st century, especially because that was the time humanity started to use medicine and know the importance of hygiene, because they rightly must have imagined, I'm sure, that humanity may just finish the resources on the earth by overpopulation if we live for long and continue to increase. The young, handsome, dark-skinned doctor, who has created a lot of inventions by describing what he has done, he decided he would create a machine that would help his patients get better as they mended. I'm sure they couldn't fathom the fact that humanity could live in space as we are now, or the fact that we could grow food inside our homes. That is, every family now produces their food inside their homes. I can imagine that they couldn't fathom back then that we wouldn't even need to use energy to control the temperatures of our homes when the plants we have in our homes do that for us, or even imagine that humanity could ever live this modestly too. It costs less now to build accommodation for 50,000 people than it did for an individual back in the mid to late 14th to early 21st century. Everything is recycled now. I don't think they will be surprised at the recycling part, though. After all, within 3 centuries then, which they rightly dubbed the rise of the Industrial Revolution, they used more of the resources from the earth than all those used since humanity became part of the earth, and because of that, along with the overstraining they did to the earth, we have to be forced to reduce everything we use. They gave plenty for us to have now, but in honest truth, they took too much for what they gave. All in all, we must thank them for giving us so much to build from. After all, what would we have done now, or where would we be now, if they had not done what they did? But could they not have used a little less than what they did? What much more we could have achieved if we did not have to practically find new ways of doing things because of their unthinking use of resources. Now, there's nothing ever used for the first time, and yes, we did find out that we could make do. As of now, there is never any need for any wood-based furniture, nothing is ever dug from under the ground, and no tree is cut down as no paper is used. Clothes are made from leaves. Who knew that the Bible was sharing a secret with us when it said, God covered the bodies of our first ancestors with leaves? Just imagine that this all started with the concept of augmenting the human memory, when they could only upgrade memories of their computers back in the day. Their computers that were as large as they were, well, I guess that was an improvement from the first computers they said were built into houses when they were first built. But now our computers are part of us, which makes us better and sharper, helping us to retain what we learn and to enrich our lives. A patient in the hospital shuffled, and he was revived from his reverie for a moment. It wasn't necessary anyway, because the man never lost touch with the room. Thinking about how the available things now got here is a way for him to while away his time. He enjoys this time. He has alone sometimes. It's about the only time he has to do this, as other times he's too busy with so many other things. Not that there's much need for separation when you're thinking. Now that you can generate memory from your sight even when your mind is not in it. It's also, more importantly, a way for him to keep his mind off the things he has to do, especially since they are not too pleasant sometimes.